As for the political will, anybody who says that Museveni has no political will, they could organize a place for you in Butabika, and you spend some time there, and then when you come back. But I cannot have political will. I cannot persecute people without following the law. Because if I do that, some people think that that one is easy, but it's not wise. Because me, I don't want to lead people who are timid, who fear. You sack people like that, you terrorize. That's not good. I don't need a frightened public service. A country does not need that. I can tell you that's not good for the country. What the country needs is confident civil servants. Miss people without, you are going to cause another problem. Yeah. So, structurally now, we can get rid of corruption. Because, why? First of all, the people now are fed up with these corrupt people. So they can no longer have a constituency of Bamparana, no. Secondly, we have got more manpower to select from. But now, maybe finally, that brings another little problem. These younger people who may replace these other ones, what are their morals themselves? What are their morals? Because there is also another problem. Yes, they are educated, but what are their morals on corruption? There is a lot of corruption in Uganda. There is no doubt about that. But I will say more about it on Monday. Right from the beginning, of course you know who I am, you know where I come from. I am here representing the freedom fighters. That's how I am here. Now, these freedom fighters were patriots who, when the country was suffering from many problems, where corruption was really a minor problem, because there were bigger problems, especially extrajudicial killings. This was the biggest problem from 1965, actually, up to 1986. For those 20 years, you could be killed any time by government agents, not by criminals or anything, but by government agents. And I'm very happy to speak when your chairperson is here, because in her own country, about that time, they were having the same problems. Up to now, there are people whom they have never found in Argentina. Here, between 1966 and 1986, those 20 years, we lost about 800,000 people killed extrajudicially. In the Rural Triangle alone, there were about 100,000. In fact, 300,000. But the scars which we found and are there, which you can go and see in 33 mass graves, accounted for 70,000 skulls of people. They are there. You can go and see them. So therefore, I am here representing freedom fighters who fought against a list of so many problems. Number one, extrajudicial killings. On a massive scale, not 2 people, 5 people, 10, no. Hundreds of thousands. Lack of democracy. One of the problems sometimes I have with your groups is the lack of thoroughness, because you sometimes people talk a bit superficially. And I'm glad you have invited me. You have never invited me before. So now that you have invited me, you have done so at your own risk. I will tell you the whole story. So I told you, number one, extrajudicial killings. Number two, lack of democracy. We had elections in 1962, April. The next elections we had, bad elections, not even good elections, were in 1980. That is after 18 years of no elections, good or bad. We contested those elections, but at least there were elections. But from 1962 to 1980, 18 years, no elections at all of any description. So, that is the second issue we had to deal with. Issue number 3, big issues, not just small issues. The collapse of the economy. The collapse of the economy. By 1986, the economy of Uganda was characterized by 3 words in the local language: magendo, meaning smuggling; chikubo, meaning currency black market; kusamla, meaning speculation. The 3 words meant the total informalization of the economy. The economy was no longer formal. It had become informal. That was the third issue. Big issue. Now, because of those 3, then the total collapse of the infrastructure. Because if you don't have economy, where would you get taxes from? And if you don't have taxis, how will you deal with infrastructure? So the infrastructure, like I will give you, and that's why I want you really to be serious. Because if you are serious, I will be part of you. If you are not serious, you just talking, then I say bye-bye. Take infrastructure. You can imagine there was one litro power station, one litro electricity station built by the British in 1954. This was called the Owen Falls Dam. That litro station had capacity to produce 150 megawatts. By 1986, it was producing only 60 megawatts. You can imagine, 1954, when the population of Uganda was 4 million, no new station until 1986. How many years is that? That's like 32 years. Yeah. 32 years, no new station. And then that lonely one of 1954 was no longer operating full capacity. It was producing only 60 megawatts instead of the designed 150 megawatts. Now, that's on the side of infrastructure, electricity, the roads, and so on. Then, what was like part of corruption and criminality, poaching of animals in the national parks. There were no more elephants in the national parks. In fact, some of the species actually disappeared completely. Like the white rhino, which was unique for Uganda, disappeared. We are now looking how to restore it. The elephants, very clever, they ran to Congo and they stopped producing. They went into birth control. Now, then, the problem we are talking about, corruption, meaning stealing money, was number 6. So, those problems.